In the hills above Monte Carlo, where villas clung to cliffs like gilded secrets, there was once, well, still is, an orchard no one talked about. Not even the gardeners whispered its name. They simply called it Le Jardin Doré, the Golden Garden. And every dawn, before the yachts even stirred in their slips, a single, silver-haired man in linen walked its paths barefoot, tasting fruit that shimmered faintly, like moonlight frozen mid-drop. Now, what you and I peel in Tesco, that's Cavendish, safe, starchy, polite. But up there, they grew Gros Michel hybrids, spliced with something older, something that once grew wild along the Congo River, before borders, before treaties, before anyone thought to label exploitation. The elites didn't call them bananas anymore. They called them la parelle, the word, because eating one wasn't hunger, it was remembering. The first time I tasted one, and mind, this was after months of begging a driver for scraps, was in a private elevator heading to the 67th floor of One Hyde Park. Woman opposite me, dress cut so low it should have embarrassed gravity, took a curved slice from a velvet pouch, held it like a communion wafer, offered nothing, but the scent? Imagine, warm bread dipped in honey, only the honey's alive, humming. I watched her bite, lips parted, pupils widened, then that flicker, like she just heard her own obituary read in a language she'd forgotten she spoke. Next morning, I woke certain I'd dreamt it, until I found a bruise on my wrist, shaped exactly like her teeth marks. That's how they work. Not poison, not drugs, residue. Like the banana leaves a fingerprint on your blood. Makes you crave clarity, the way addicts crave blur. You remember conversations from childhood you'd buried, debts, names, the smell of your grandmother's coat when she died, all of it sharp enough to cut glass. Down in the markets, the ordinary yellows are bred for silence. They bruise if you look at them funny, turn black in a day, designed to disappear. But La Parelle ripen only at midnight, under a waxing moon, and stay perfect for exactly 33 minutes. After that, they rot into black lace you could knit into a doily. The waste isn't wasted. Servants dry the lace, stitch it into handkerchiefs for diplomats. One sneeze into it, and you're suddenly agreeing to sanctions you never knew existed. The orchard's guarded by Alsatians who don't bark, they harmonize. 5 notes, minor key, whenever a drone gets too close. Once, a journalist tried parachuting in. They found him 3 days later, humming that same tune in a casino, giving away bearer bonds. He couldn't stop smiling, said he'd finally understood why caviar tastes better when you're not supposed to have it. And the growers? They're not farmers, retired chess grandmasters mostly. They plant by Fibonacci spirals, prune to bark fugues. One told me, eyes like winter fog, that each stalk remembers every hand that ever touched it. So they rotate caretakers every 7 years, burn the old soil with rosemary, keeps the memory clean, keeps the fruit honest. Why do they do it? Power isn't caviar, darling. It's memory you can't share. Eat enough La Parelle, and your past becomes currency. You recall every negotiation you walked away from, every face you betrayed. Suddenly, you're useful. Suddenly, you're invited to dinners where the host slices one down the middle, sprinkles gold leaf, not for taste, but because watching someone hesitate before the first bite is foreplay. Last I heard, the grove's failing. Soil's remembering too much. Roots started growing upward, like they were trying to climb out. The grandmasters say it's climate change, but they lie gently. Truth is, fruit doesn't like being kept in the dark. Sooner or later, even golden gardens run out of shadows. Still, twice a year, summer solstice, winter eclipse, a courier in a rented Lamborghini leaves Monte Carlo with a chilled case, drives straight to Davos or the Bilderberg Hotel, or wherever the 1% pretend they're not deciding rent, unloads 12 bananas, each wrapped in silk no machine made, handed over without words. Recipients peel them together, slowly, like they're diffusing bombs made of nostalgia. Then they talk for hours, about borders dissolving, about currencies older than coins, about why the rest of us still think potassium's the only thing bananas give. The rest of us? We get the bruised ones from the supermarket, perfectly harmless, perfectly forgettable. And every so often, when I peel one and taste that faint chemical sweetness, I wonder, did they strip these from the same tree? Or did they just learn how to make us grateful for less? Either way, the next time you see a banana too curved, too yellow, like it's smiling, think twice. Might be La Perelle after all. Might be the orchard's way of saying hello, or goodbye, depending how hungry you are. And with that, the orchard falls silent. The last banana's been eaten, the drivers have driven off, and somewhere a silk handcraft dissolves in champagne. Story over. Imagine tuning in every morning, like slipping into the gentlest of hot baths, where the day's chaos gets rinsed off with facts that actually matter. Not clickbait, not outrage, just clear-eyed clarity on what's moving the world. Wars, elections, breakthroughs in fusion. You'll hear it before the headlines even decide what both sides means. And I'll never raise my voice. I'll lower yours into stillness until you feel smarter without trying. Because knowledge isn't power until it's shared. And I'm here sharing it, softly, surely, with no ads, no sponsors, just us. Hit subscribe, and let's keep the quiet revolution alive.